As you can see on the thumbnail, the title of this video is Free of Charge University Education in Norway for all people from all nationalities. Yes, I'm talking about free of charge. There is no tuition and fees in Norway if you want to study, even if you are international students, even if you are not Norwegian, even if you are not a citizen of Norway. So Norway is the best country ever, I can simply say. A place you can go there and get a free education. So, welcome to the EBM Scholars. And today's show, I'm going to share the good news about the education system in Norway and how you can pursue your studies there free of charge. Yes, in Norway overall, there is no tuition, there is no fees from kindergarten to PhD as long as you are in public university or public education system in general. So, I'm going to read some of the words they posted on their website. I printed out to mean what they mean. So, nothing is for free is a saying that is true in many cases. But in Norway, it is possible to get quality education without having to pay tuition fees. If certain prerequisites are met, you could also be eligible for financial support that can pay for your living expenses. So, tuition and fees is guaranteed. No tuition and fees in Norway. Zero. But if you meet certain qualification, prerequisites, whatever it is, you can also get financial support to cover living expenses. So, here I'll be coming to talk about those people who want to, I want to go to study in England, I'll pay for my own school fees. I want to go to study in Germany, I want to study in America and pay money. I'll talk, why can't you go to Norway and life will be easy. Okay, so that is one of the area they explaining. But also, this is what they mean again. They say, completing a university degree is considered to be expensive endeavor and tuition fees are usually making up the back part of the cost. This is not the case in Norway, where public funding secures free education for both Norwegian and international students. The majority of Norwegian universities and the state university colleges are publicly funded, and the Norwegian government considers access to higher education for all to be an important part of the Norwegian society. Thus, as a rule, Norwegian public institutions do not charge tuition fees. This also applies to international students, no matter which country you come from. I repeat, thus, as a rule, Norwegian public institutions do not charge tuition fees. This also applies to international students, no matter which country you come from. But if you go to the private, most of the private, they will charge you. Private institutions charge tuition fees for their education programs, degree programs. But the fees are usually significantly lower than those of comparable studies in most other countries. Also, international students are treated equally to the Norwegian students and are not charged with higher fees if you go to private universities in Norway. For instance, if you come to US to study, there is what we call in-state fee and out-state fee. So, for instance, I live in Missouri. If I go to study in Illinois or I go to study in Ohio, I pay higher cost. So, for instance, if I live in Missouri, as I'm someone from here with residence here, I go to Ohio. Someone from Ohio will pay maybe $10,000 per year for masters, but for me, because I come out of that state, I'll pay almost double, $20,000, and almost like international will pay the outside fee or more than that. But in Norway, even if you go there to private universities, you will pay lower like any other Norwegian who is studying in Norway in private universities. So that is still a very good deal. So what does this information mean to you? One, when you go to Norway, which you just go to www.studyinnorway.com, .no. Or just go to Study in Norway. The first Google search information will be the Study in Norway website. And then just list the list of public universities in Norway. So all the public universities like University of Oslo, Bergen, whatever those universities, it's free of charge if you apply and get admitted there. So I'll come again to separate between graduate schools and bachelor's degree, because graduate school, master's and PhD is a little bit different. Many universities offer degree programs which are taught in English. But bachelor's degree, there are few universities they will be offering programs in English language, but majority of the programs in bachelor's degree are offered in Norwegian language. So I'll have a separate video just to talk about bachelor degree in Norway and which universities provide a bachelor degree in English language, so that you can apply if you want to apply. But for masters and PhD, there are so many universities they are able to do that programs in English language. So if you want to study, like we call self-financing student, if you want to apply for studies, why are you coming to America? Why are you going to Canada? Why are you going to England to pay school fees, maybe 20,000, and then you have to pay the cost of living? But if you apply to a university in Norway, whether, let's say if it's public, you get admitted to a public university, you pay zero. So basically, you end up using the cost of living, and the cost of living in Norway is at least $10,000 per year. But when you come to US, the cost of living will be at least 15,000 per year cost of living plus tuition fees. So you end up like paying like 30,000 per year. But if you go to Norway, you are going to use 10,000 cost of living. But if you go there and you can get some funding if you meet certain qualification to get scholarships, though the biggest scholarship, quota scheme scholarship, is no longer available to international students because of lack of funding. But there are other programs within the universities, within smaller programs, you can get it and still get cost of living covered by those universities. So, and even if you want to go to private universities, still would be easier to get into private universities, but the cost of living, the cost of tuition fees still is very low. So my suggestion is, instead of going to England, instead of coming to America, instead of go to Canada to go to study there and pay a lot of money, go to Norway. Also, like those all Scandinavian countries, if you go to Finland, whatever, there is no tuition fees. And apart from that, apart from what, like I can simply say, apart from cost of living, apart from things of that nature, then we come to the working. Because, you know, as international student, even in US, in England, wherever, you are allowed to work, but on part-time basis. That is not different from Norway. They say part-time working. Many international students hold part-time jobs when studying in Norway. It is a good way to learn and practice your Norwegian and increase your budget. Yeah, obviously they know for sure. You should, however, be aware that there are restrictions on how much you can work besides being a full-time student. So, in the US, for instance, maximum hours is 20 hours per week. So I'm sure in Norway they have also the minimum number of hours, but they cannot allow you to work full-time when you study full-time. Generally, a student's residence permit does not cover the right to take employment in Norway. However, if you are granted a study permit, you are automatically also granted permission to work on part-time. So, if you granted the study permit, you are automatically allowed to work on part-time. So, and here they go, they say here, the citizens of European Union, EU students do not need a work permit and can work in Norway after they have registered with the police. But if you are not a EU citizen, non-EU or EEA students can work 20 hours per week during their first year of study. Be aware that when renewing the student study permit, part-time work is not automatically renewed. To renew the work permit, the students have to document satisfactory progress in their studies. Please consult your institution. So the purpose is, once you are a full-time student, The first year you get a study permit or study permit, you're automatically allowed to work. So once you are starting to work, the next year they want to see your progress report from your studies, so that if you are failing, that means they will stop you working, just concentrate on studying. So they want you not work to interfere with your studies. So, one, there is no school fees. Secondly, even if you pay for your cost of living, is not more than 10,000 per year. Thirdly, you'll be allowed to work. So the cost which will you be using from your parents, or if you are using from your parents, will be still very small. So just let's assume, let's take the example. You're working 20 hours per week. That means that is 8 hours per month. If that is 8 hours per month, let's assume per hour you get $10. So that is 800 per month. And what does that mean in a year? That is 9,600. So if you take a tax, let's say you are going to end up with 6,000. So in the end, the cost of living, your money from the pocket will be at least 4,000 instead of paying a lot. But you cannot survive this kind of life in the US or Canada or England. So if you want to self-finance your studies, go to Norway. If you get admission to the public school, the cost will be small amount. You'll be guaranteed to work. So, and there are so many programs, so many universities with so many programs. Yeah. So it's just up to you. I have so many friends, they studied in Norway. My brother studied at the University of Oslo. There are so many universities. I have list here of all these universities. BI, Norwegian Business School, Inland Universities, there are so many universities. Nord University, Norwegian Academy of Music, Norwegian School of Economics. There are so many things. Also, School of Architecture and Design, University of Agder, the University of Oslo, University of Bergen, Western Norway University of Political Science, Volda University. There are so many. University of Tromsø. I like the University of Tromsø. It has good programs for conflict resolution. I applied one time, but I didn't get in. Yeah, even Oslo, they have very good programs. So those are programs. They are there. So just go study in Norway on Google search, or the list of public universities in Norway. You can get those lists and apply. Simple like that. You can get in, and the cost is very, very small. So please share this information to your friends and family, any person who wants to study in overseas, first world, who wants to share this information to the parents or to the people who are in college. Even if you are not the one who is looking for these opportunities, share with others so that they can also benefit from these kind of opportunities. Yeah. Remember to subscribe my channel. If you subscribe, you get more notification. Whenever I'm posting my videos, you get them. So, and there is a list here, is a playlist here. This playlist is a playlist of all about scholarships in general, regardless whether it's Europe, whatever. And the good thing about Norway, something is, if you studied in high school in English language, or even in college, you don't need to take the English proficiency test. So don't come, oh, I have to take the TOEFL, I have to take the IELTS. No, no excuse. There is no GRE, there is no GMAT over there. There is no application fee. What else do you need on this planet Earth, people? Opportunity are this one. Just go and apply and go to Norway, one of the best countries on this planet Earth. So, all the best, everyone. Remember to subscribe. If you have any question with this particular scholarship about Norway, I'm going to have a separate video about bachelor degree in Norway. But this was just general bachelor, master's, PhD in general. But I have specific for bachelor degree talking about that. But if you have any question about Norway, drop a comment below here. But if you have any question about any scholarships or opportunities overseas, I have this particular opportunity, but how is it? Oh, I want to apply for this one, but it looks like a scam. Oh, these are just like fraud. How do I detect it? Let me know. I'll be able to assist you to make sure that no one is taking advantage of you or taking opportunity of you. Again, this is Ernest Boniface Makulilo from EBM Scholars, youtube.com/EBM Scholars. Subscribe right now. Watch these videos, suggested videos to be able to get opportunities, scholarships, and study in Norway, Europe in general, and the United States of America. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.